Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to UVI First Take Sports Talk Show with your host, Karon Reynolds, and my co-host, Dante and Dre. We're back with another episode. Please stay tuned. Tell a friend to share the video. Make sure you watch it. If you got time, just take a little dive into the sport taps we have for this evening. So, guys, now,
before we get really into it, I just wanted to shout out the Brooklyn Nets because I want to make sure I keep the respect as loud as my disrespect was when we was bashing the Brooklyn Nets last week. They played a game last night. They came back from 21 points.
Yeah, about 21.
No Kyrie, no KD, no problem. Harden did it all on his own. Although Chris Paul had a superb game, Harden still took care of business.
It's the Suns though.
The Suns are a pretty good team.
The Suns are trash.
They're fifth in the West.
What you're trying to tell me is, without KD and Kyrie playing, the Brooklyn Nets are a better team than with them.
No, with the Suns.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
The fact that they came back without KD and Kyrie playing last night.
It wouldn't be such a big lead.
Guys stepped up. You have Joe Harris on the team. Joe Harris played big minutes. Very big minutes.
Jeff Green.
Yeah.
So why spend all this money on two guys extra if when the three of them play together, they lose games?
We have to. We're going to make it work.
But they actually win when they're playing teams that are above 500 or better. They actually have a winning record against those teams.
And I think it's a 500 to lower percentage chance of the lower teams, which I don't understand. But I just want you guys.
But I'm just for being clear.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I congratulate them because I want to make sure that I show the respect as loud as my disrespect was last week.
I'm gonna move like Juju Smith. The Nets are the Nets. Come on.
When this video is like finished, when y'all go back and watch, I want y'all to go back to his face when you were congratulating the Nets. He was angry.
I'm gonna pull the podium.
He was angry.
The Nets are the Nets.
Okay.
We're gonna rest that down. We're gonna go into some more little breaking news. Anthony Davis is injured. He re-aggravated a calf Achilles-like injury and he'll be out for 2 to 3 weeks. This is a very huge blow to the Lakers, and they have to. Oh yes, it is, bro. Because
no AD last night, no problem.
No problem. Yeah, y'all played the Wolves. Y'all played the Wolves. LeBron will lead the team. He was scrub. They lost to the Wolves.
Wolves is like the last in the West. Like dead last.
They got great players though, but I understand.
Like the second worst team in the league.
So they have other players just like without Kyrie and KD.
And you're right.
Anthony Edwards still gave them buckets.
And you are completely right.
He has no defense.
You guys won without AD, but we're talking about if they need to rest this guy. Like seriously, don't bring him back too quick.
That's why they said
if he doesn't get to play for the playoffs, it's over.
So my question to you guys is this, right? Do you think the Lakers is in trouble?
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay. In terms of how his injury pans out, if he could get back before the playoffs, anytime before playoffs, and like at least he needs to come back 100%. They can't bring him back before he's ready. We can't do that. Not with this Achilles and calf stuff because he's already injury prone, and they need him. This is a 2 or more superstar league if you want to make it far in the NBA nowadays. Because LeBron can't do it by not taking away anything from LeBron, but he cannot do it by himself. Y'all can't beat the Clippers without AD. No, I'm sorry. Y'all can't beat the Clippers without AD. Come, I know playoff P and Kawhi played like trash the last.
Do not bring Kawhi in with that.
Kawhi played bad for one game.
I'm talking about that game. Let me clear it up. I'm talking about the last game, the game 7 against the Nuggets.
Playoff P.
Yes, but don't think Kawhi's going to come back with that same mentality. Oh, y'all go sleep. Y'all sleeping on that man. That might come back with a vengeance. So y'all need AD to have a chance against them.
Okay, let me explain. We have 2 different type of offense and defense. We
Okay.
have basically the one with the big man, which is 80, which is he pick and roll laps
Yes.
or he shoots.
Okay.
Then you have the offense where we only have one for just defense and grabbing boards,
Okay.
which worked last
What
night.
about the one for the posting up and stuff like that?
We have Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, but can he stretch the floor like 80?
That's why you have two different type of offense.
Yes, but you're missing a great keep. You're missing the second best player on the team. Arguably the first or second, because we like
still
LeBron,
have
but-
the defense there.
Second.
Let's move on that second.
Definitely.
We'll go that second. Averaging 22 and 8. 22 and 8.
Of course, it's good. We still have the defense that Nets don't have. Let me just say that.
Wow, look at that. Look at
We
this.
still have-
He just couldn't wait.
All right, so the Lakers is in big trouble.
No, they're not.
Big trouble.
That-
And my reason for saying that is because one, the injury that AD has, if not
It's going to
rested
come
properly, it can escalate into a torn Achilles. Now, if it's better to have AD at 100%, you may lose some games in between, right? That's understandable. You have your second best player, but you want him back for the playoffs
Of course.
because
Not one, need.
because ain't no way the Lakers are going to even get to the finals without AD.
Despite LeBron's greatness.
And let's bear in mind, despite LeBron's greatness, despite all the MVP campaign and the MVP statement he's making right now,
Mhm.
LeBron is in year 18.
And he's still
LeBron
scoring
is in year 18.
yes.
and
So
rebounds.
imagine
we
now,
cannot
without his second
cannot
best
predict-
player, without his second best player, how can he now do it all and corral all these guys together? He's gonna carry even more of a load. And he's in year 18 with all the mileage he has on his body.
Definitely right.
And they're going to need him when the playoffs come more than anything else.
And you don't think they're not going to wear LeBron out? LeBron's going to be.
He was already
point
tired
guard
for the
shooter.
two.
He's
He
been
was already tired for the two.
And bear in mind, he didn't have much of a long off season. Let's just keep that in mind. He didn't have much of a long off season.
And like I said before, this is a 2 or more superstar league if you want to make it far. The Jazz are the best, have the best record in the league. I'm not saying they're beating the Lakers, but without AD, Gobert is going to kill them in the paint. Period. Gobert will kill them in the paint.
Montrez.
Let's just
He's
get
not
this
better than
straight. The Jazz is a seasoned team. I'm just gonna say that from now. All of this that they're doing, look at their schedule.
But
Look how it's lined up.
okay, I see what you're saying.
They're a
And I don't
seasoned team.
disagree. However, there's more than one factor to look at.
Mhm.
Last year in the playoffs, when it was in the bubble, they was the number 6 seed. They played against a well-rounded Nuggets team
Mhm.
that had depth.
And Jokic.
And they took them to 7 games.
And
Yeah.
And
Brown
we know how D Mitch was playing. We know how D Mitch was
He
playing.
plays-
Spider.
And they are now working and gelling as a unit this year. Because remember, the last year is when they bring in Jordan Clarkson right before the trade deadline
Mhm.
and so on and so forth. Jordan Clarkson has been playing amazing.
Definitely.
Lakers, I don't know why you trade that guy away, man. But hey, happy for the man. He's playing good on a team that is just a season
So
team.
point blank,
I'm just
the
saying.
Lakers need to rest AD, let's say a month.
AD. You
Let
got
him
It's
come back.
basically a month.
Let him come back at least 90%.
100.
And then, you know, load management. This is where load management comes in. Everybody hates
This-
load
this is
management.
where it's
Everybody hates
needed.
the
This is
ideals
where
of
it's
load
needed
management.
now.
But
He's
this is
injured.
where it's needed because you don't want the injury that AD has right now to escalate into something that will keep him out for the whole of next season. Like Klay
And even
Thompson.
if he could make it back into part of the playoffs, who says the Lakers might last that long until he's able to come back to it, depending on.
And he may not even be.
I'm not saying they're
100%.
gonna lose to the Lakers are second. I'm saying they're gonna lose in the first round. The second
We are
round
going back to the finals.
with AD. Without AD, you
With or
guys will
without,
barely
we are
make
going
the
back
conference
to the
finals.
Without
With
Oh,
or without,
If
we are
y'all
going
make
back
it to the
finals.
conference finals without AD, I'll be very surprised.
So just so that we're on the same page, right? You're saying that the Lakers are going to the finals with or without AD. Guys, you heard it here first. UVI Sports first take. Dante just said the Lakers are going to the finals without a doubt. Without AD, with AD, doesn't matter. They're going to the finals. So I'm gonna remember that.
That's okay.
We're gonna remember
I'm glad
that.
this season's shorter.
February
72
17th,
games.
February 17th, 2021.
About 2:28 p.m.
We're gonna remember this. We'll revisit this in a few months.
I'm gonna reshare this when the day comes. When
Okay.
you gotta get knocked
All
out.
right.
I go screen record
Who
the
gonna
clip
knock us
too.
out?
I go screen record. Hey, we don't
There's
know
some
yet.
very good teams
We
out
don't
west.
know yet. Y'all
There's
be
some very good teams out
like
west.
you talking
And
about.
if there's no AD that can get to the basket, that can
Exactly. I understand that.
If y'all have to,
give
if y'all have
LeBron that
three,
help.
if y'all have three superstars like Brooklyn, AD was down. I give y'all. I will say y'all going
You
to the
don't
finals
need the
still.
three superstars. If you never look at last year, it was just AD and LeBron.
Exactly.
Yeah, but last year I didn't have.
And if AD's not
big
here,
three?
Now we
There
ask
was no
Schroeder.
big three
do you
last
know how
year.
much players last year had
You don't
COVID
have
and
to
couldn't
have
play for their teams?
Yeah,
But you don't have to have superstars all over the game. You have to have a great bench and role players that need to do
we
what they have to
agree.
do.
But this is
what
a
we're
different
saying
time.
That's
on
what
it.
we have.
What we're saying is last year did not have no three superstar team in the playoff. What team last year in that bubble had three superstars?
Okay. Don't
None.
call me Bass, but I'm calling Jimmy. Bam.
What?
Yes, so Jimmy has
What?
superstar?
Who's the
Jimmy-
third one? We
Okay,
said
we
three
could say
superstars
Jimmy's
now.
a star. Jimmy's a star. Bam, we could say Bam is a star, but there's no one else on
I'll
that
give
team
Jimmy.
that's a
I'll
star.
give Jimmy a higher level star.
And then the
Or
one
he's
guy,
playing the
Right.
finals.
the one
But
guy that would have
Jimmy's
made
a
the
star.
difference.
Bam is a star, but there was no third star.
Tragic.
No, he's
He
not
went
a
down.
star.
Dragic
Bro,
was a
down.
big
What?
factor in the
He went
playoffs,
down.
but I would not
He's
give him
not a star.
stars.
He's
We
not
talking
a star.
superstars now.
We're talking about KD, Kyrie,
We
Harden.
talking about like future Hall of Famers and stuff like that. And Kyrie
Come on,
could be
dude.
potentially a Hall of Famer if you keep
Goran
up a high
Dragic
level
is
of
not
play.
no star.
He's a great
He's
starter.
a great player. But
He's
he's
a
not
good.
star.
He would have probably make take out to 7 games and if he came back.
Oh, not seven.
Yeah, look at that now. Now
Six.
3 superstars and he ain't taking them to the Lakers. Like
He
what kind of thing is that?
he knows that Goran Dragic is not a star. He's not a star. He never been to an All-Star game. He never performed
So
in
you
an
have-
All-Star game. He's no
You
star.
have to. So
He's a solid.
So
he's
Bradley
a solid
Beal-
starter.
A great
Bradley
player.
Beal never been to an All-Star game, but he's a superstar.
Oh,
So what's the
Bradley
difference?
Beal, we know Bradley Beal
No
was
times
star.
he got snubbed.
We know he was
Lot of times he
star.
got snubbed.
Don't even try to put them on the same street. Let's pump the brakes right
Come
there.
on.
I think
Come
we should move on.
We got carried away the stuff. We compared Bradley Beal to Dragic. Oh no, sir, we can't do that. That's ridiculous. We all know Lamborghinis are faster cars than the Jeep. We can't be doing stuff like that. Can't be doing stuff like that. So in this note, we're gonna move on into our next mini topic. Draymond Green made some comments a couple of days ago. I think it was like 1 or 2 days ago, in regards to teams selling out certain players due to the fact that they're trying to figure out what they're doing with them towards the future, whether they're going to be traded or not. Guys like Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond have been set out by their teams to figure out the future basically. And guys like James Harden now, who wanted to get out of Houston, who is future Hall of Famer, it's averaging 30 past couple years, 28 and stuff like that, was playing like way less than himself in the last couple of games in Houston. Came back to Brooklyn, first game, dropped a triple-double, I believe, 30-point triple-double. Played like trash to almost force them to trade him. But guys like John and Blake Griffin, they're going to sit him out until they're ready. I mean, like, and Andre Drummond, first of all, Andre Drummond is an all-star caliber player, first of all. I don't even know what they want to trade him for. 17 and a half points and 14 rebounds per game. Bro, come on. Come on.
Well, tell the Nets go for that.
Oh, we should. I mean, but still, like, I know Blake Griffin has had a rough couple of years, but
I don't think
it's not even.
Brooklyn has the cap space.
I know.
We just signed Andre Robertson for defense. We're gonna really Brooklyn out. Let's talk about these guys right here. How do you feel about Andre's comment, Draymond's comment? Was he being a little drastic? Is he right in any terms of what he said?
I think he's just being an ex-Paul Pierce. So don't be surprised if you see Draymond Green after he retires trying to go into the media business. Because
I actually do see it, to your credit.
Because he is like talking, but at the same time, why is that your business? if they want to.
Well, he's a player too, so he's speaking on behalf of his fellow brothers in the league. You know what I'm saying?
So at the same time, yes, the team probably because the team wants to save them from having an embarrassing game, like dropping like 2 points, going for like 2 for 18 or something like that. So they don't change their mind and say, "Oh, what kind of game was that?" Or it could be like they had a mutual agreement to say, "Okay, I'm not gonna play to mess up your games, and if you trade me, that's okay. We had a good run."
We can't go off of one bad game. Basically, 20 plus games has passed. Andre Drummond is 18 points and 13 rebounds per game. That is all-star stats. NBA Hall of Famers, centers have rebound season like that. No disrespect to them. We're just talking about how good Andre Drummond of a player is. And to sit him out? Come on, for what? Let the man play. Let the man play.
When you really think and dissect Draymond Green's comments, he's not just speaking from a perspective of he's trying to be another analyst or another Paul Pierce, right? Although I do see him going into that line of work after his playing days are over. I don't think that is the case. I think that he is trying to represent and speak from a player's perspective. Definitely. That, some players get special treatment and other players don't get that type of respect or
equality.
When you think of the Cavs, right? The Cleveland Cavaliers has a net worth of $1.5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Drummond has a salary of over $28 million, about $29 million
per year,
right? for this year. This year, right? So I don't think any team would want to make an immediate trade for him unless they have the right package.
Okay.
Right? And we have another month for the deadline. I think teams should become calling for a player of Andre Drummond's type caliber.
Yes.
However, where Draymond Green was coming from is that the theatrics that went down with when James Harden won his trade, James Harden now could have did that and they won't sit him. They didn't sit him. They made sure he was suiting up to play, even though he was out partying, not following COVID protocols. They still made him play. So now this is a reflection on the ownership now and how they treat, certain players over how they treat a player like Andre Drummond, versus James Harden, because James Harden clearly didn't want to play anybody that, you could clearly see James Harden didn't want to play when he was in Houston, and Andre Drummond is not playing like a scrub, 18 points, 14 rebounds a game. That's not scrub number.
To Andre, it's disrespectful.
So to have him suit up for a game and then to be told you can't play because we have intentions on trading you, I think that was embarrassing and I think that was disrespectful.
No, it's solely disrespectful.
And the same case with Blake Griffin now. And to be honest, I don't think anybody might try to trade for Blake Griffin in the immediate future.
Yes.
Right? Probably near the deadline when teams are trying to make, small little adjustments. I don't think much teams really need Blake Griffin right now. But I think the team that they're currently on, like the Pistons and the Cavs, they're eventually going to lose in the long run by doing this, because if no team come knocking for Blake Griffin, you're just gonna have to buy out. And then when you buy them out, and other teams are free to just pick them up, and they don't have to give away anything to get him.
Just take from my home.
you lose him, and somebody else pick him up, and you get nothing in return. They acquire something in return.
Yes, and it's like I know Blake Griffin ain't the same as how we used to play Lob City. Blake Griffin, Rookie of the Year, Blake Griffin. I mean, players. A lot of players go through this. The time, everybody's prime is different. Injuries affect certain players. So how Blake Griffin won't no scrub now. And I think he's a future Hall of Famer, probably, but he ain't got no ring. But he'll be remembered as an NBA superstar in this league, and like
All-star player.
all-star, and like Drummond. I wanted the embarrassment would be like for a guy who probably comes off the bench who don't really get much playing time after like 5 points a game. Now, no disrespect to those guys.
He's not that level.
But come on, bro. I mean, the Cavaliers they can make the playoffs this year for crying out loud. They're possibly make the playoffs because they have that playing tournament. We can talk about more of that in later this season. When you're averaging 18 points and 14 rebounds per game, and the team wants to trade you, it got me wondering. A team was not even making the playoffs, and you want to trade. It got me wondering. Some teams just try to be reaching too much, to be honest. I don't understand. It reminds me of the Brooklyn trade.
What I think they're trying to do, I think they're trying to move forward with Jared. They're trying to move forward with Jared Allen.
Okay.
Rather than Andre Drummond. You know, I don't mind. Like, hey, Spurs, get on the phone.
Keep them both.
San Antonio, Pop, RC Buford, you get on the phone.
No,
you guys
keep them both in Cleveland.
You work
y'all got a great guard in Sexton.
Let's bring them to San Antonio. Cleveland
got a great guard in Sexton. I have a all-star caliber center and a backup who could play like a starter, could grab 10 and 10 and 2 blocks a game. Come on. It's disrespectful. And Davey, I don't even see the point. That's like the first time I really saw that. And I'm like, why? We're going to send him out? Y'all ain't winning no games if he ain't playing like that, bro.
And it's the fact that, you know, he came out, you know, ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he wasn't warm up, everything. And then to be told, oh, we're not going to play you tonight.
You said no, bro.
You know?
You wasted the man's time first. He's a grown man.
Let that man go home. He now has to sit on the bench and watch this entire game.
Did they win?
Because he's really and truly no longer a part of the team, but he's still with the team. So this is why I credit what Draymond was saying. And Draymond was absolutely on the money. He was on the money because, you know, certain players could get away with what they want to get away with. You know, and I'm not saying that James Harden brings a lot to the table. So we get that. But you have to maintain that equality.
Yes.
For every player in the association.
Yes.
Because now you're showing, you know, that favoritism, you're showing that unfairness amongst the players. And the players feel it.
Yes. Fun fact, Drummond has only averaged single-digit rebounds in his first season in the league. Ever since that coming down, double-digit rebounds straight. 13, 14, 15, 11. I'm doing my homework now. Highest 14.8. That's 15 rebounds a game. They want to sit that guy out. I don't understand so many scenes and moves they be making. But hey, to each his own. Play that guy and stop the foolishness. To the final time for the day. We want to talk about sports here in the VI. I know we got COVID going on, all stuff like that. Quick reminder, we are practicing social distancing. I have our masks decked and ready. So
we're maintaining the distance.
Yes, we're following protocol, and I hope you guys do the same. Back to what I was saying. I would like to see sports in the VI return. As in like the school leagues come back and outside leagues come back, because in the States, colleges are playing, high schools are playing, like they're playing, you know. I know they have their protocols, you know, testing and temperature checks and stuff like that. If they could do it, we should be doing it back down here, because I'm feeling for like the seniors and juniors who wants to play in their last season, possibly get a chance to go to college, get some highlight films, so go to college and stuff like that. Let them play. I mean, we could have I wouldn't really say a bubble, but have some kind. What some ideas the Sports League could do to bring back sports here as safe as possible? I'm sorry, Dante.
You basically just said the word, but Department of Sports already started that program.
Okay.
Which was the bubble for the baseball and volleyball and basketball.
Oh, that's when they had the
That's when
in St. Thomas and
St. Thomas
okay.
And over here.
Well, I'm talking about a consistent league now.
I think money wise, it would be a lot, because remember, you gotta sit coaches, players, and people who want help inside for that whole 2 weeks or how long ever the season is, and they can't leave at all, so they can't see parents. They just school, practice, games, and then the people that have to feed them, that's what they basically did inside UVI here.
Yeah, I feel it, but like I wouldn't do that same exact process because they're not doing that in like college or in the high schools in the States, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, test them probably every incrementally throughout the season, like shorten the season if you have to, and temperature check, do what you have to do to make sure they are as safe as possible. But the bubble, I wouldn't recommend the bubble because people got to work. So some people got more than one job. We might not be able to do that straight, and if they got to leave and come back, we need to bring it back. Colleges are playing. Colleges are playing. I mean, we bring back against sports down here. The kids need the sports, man. They need to go back and practice with the teams and stuff like that.
Then you still gotta test everybody every single week. That's at least for football. That's at least 65 players.
I want to say every single. I would probably say not as frequent, but I do not believe. Well, matter of fact, I have to research how the high schools do it, but a lot of testing.
Interject.
Yes, you may.
I just think it's a sad situation all around. Being that they're not getting to play and all, but at this point in time, I don't really think it's much of a good idea to continue. And my reasoning for saying that is because we live in a small community.
Yes, definitely.
And everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows it. And to allow we would only be able to allow a certain number of individuals in the game.
Okay.
Right. Like how college bus and not
media,
everywhere. Not everywhere is allowing fans.
Yes.
Right. And you have like 12 to 15 guys on a roster. 12 to 15 players on the roster. And their parents may want to come and see the game.
Have a media team.
And then there's the media personnel. There's so many different factors that comes into keeping a season running smoothly.
Okay.
You would have to have constant temperature checks and COVID testing.
Yes, definitely.
And maintain a certain protocol to ensure the safety of not only the players but for everybody that's involved in the league.
Definitely.
And being that it's such a small community and everybody knows everybody, I don't think that it is the right move right now. I think it can be done.
Yes.
Once
planning to do.
Right. Once it's well thought out, funds are allocated for the matter to ensure not only safety but make sure that it runs smoothly.
Okay.
I don't think it's a wise
idea
right now.
Okay, but how about this? I had an idea. How about instead of a season, have tournaments? Let's say for basketball, football, volleyball, all the seasons. It's all the sports. Instead of having one season, have tournaments at different times throughout where the season would be. Let's say basketball season, let's say sports season between March and May. Let's say you have like a little weekend tournament or week tournament in January. A next tournament in like March, and like one more. Like that would be like to get into like the playoffs and the last tournament could be like a playoff thing. So like it's having a long season, like separated. So it's less chance of like it's straight on. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Because I believe it will be much safer that way instead of like one full season. Because you'll save a little money, and you could probably have like you could have like a little weekend tournament or a week tournament, let them play 3 games or whatever, 2 or 3 games, come back, and then have the final like playoff thing in the last part of the season. I would say no fans. For football, you probably let them make some shares, but actually keep the discipline. Inside sports like basketball and volleyball, possibly, but it's a gym, so spread out. You'll have the media people on top of the bleachers, coaches with their teams. I'm a mask wearing, especially whoever's on the bench wearing a mask.
Media personnel will also be on the floor also.
That too, wear your mask. But that will be much better. That could be handled easier than a straight on season. In a bubble too, that's going to be difficult because if you gotta leave, some people may gotta leave. Some people.
But you see, this is where it could get problematic with a bubble situation because a bubble. Let's say they do a weekend bubble. there's more than one. There's plenty high school teams, in the VI. So to say that they play for only a weekend in a bubble, and that would mean they would have to play like 3 games a day.
Short in the season, I'm talking about.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. If it's just a weekend tournament,
Yeah.
then that would mean they would have to play like 3 games per day, and that's kind of absurd.
For each team, 3 games a day.
Yeah, because there's so many different teams in the VI. Not saying and every team wouldn't be able to play each other. So it wouldn't be as accurate unless you have
So maybe
they play against their own division, and then you just go straight into our finals, right?
Yes.
With who it's just tournament rules.
Yeah.
But it's like you would have to play so many different games if you're going to do it within the time span of just one weekend.
Yes.
So I don't think that would be a well thought out idea.
How about a week?
A week would
1 week in January, March, then
Then you still got isolate.
it would still be a bubble environment, and I personally to keep like the high schoolers away from home for so long. Being that school is still also going on, I think that would be a little rough. That's why I don't think it's that great. And I can be wrong. This is why the discussion is needed to be had, because this is something that we want, for the youth, for the children, for the next generation athletes, that want to further their playing goals. I want them to have that, but we also want to make sure that everyone is safe.
Absolutely.
To prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Absolutely.
So it's just a tough time. But I think, with the proper planning, the proper management, it would be able to be done once, the numbers go down, students are allowed to go back into school.
Yes.
Of course, in a social distance environment.
Definitely.
I have utmost believe that the school would do so to ensure the safety of the students, the players, when it comes to that realm. But I just don't think right now is the best time.
Understandable, and that's what we got to live with. But it's still a conversation that needs to be had. If you guys know anybody who works for Department of Sports Parks or Department of Education, sorry for my fast speaking, let them see this. Talk to them about it, because it'll be good for the players to be able to play. Because they might want to go to college. They want to play shoot, but people remember Man League. I used to have Man League, and so I was studying for like basketball, football, volleyball, little stuff. Even the regular people that want to play some sports, I know I got some courts open, but like they definitely need to do something to try at least the best they can do to get the kids, at least especially the high school kids, to play, because some of them use their God-given talents to help them further their life, So colleges want film. They want that film. You can't just tell them blah, blah, blah. They need that film to see something. Especially we're from the VI now, we're not getting as much looks as people from Florida, New York, but even Wyoming and stuff, places like that. So I hope they could come to find an idea that could do it. I would love to see it safely. And that's my personal opinion on it. So hopefully you guys will get some kind of thing. Record. Matter of fact, record all of this. Any game you guys play, record it. Record yourself. Just a quick tip for the high school students. Personal workout. Record every game you play, even if you're going to the neighborhood. Record it. Have it documented. Have your brother, sister, girlfriend come over, boyfriend come over. Record it so you could have something, just in case we have no season. Any final remarks before we close off today, fellas?
Lakers ain't going to another finals without AD. Come on, bro.
That's a beautiful way to end the show. I'm gonna give Dante. You should have stopped first, and he should have said, and then we'd ended up right there. You're lucky. You are lucky, bro. You are very lucky. I'm gonna give you a chance. I like that one.
Lakers have defense, so we good.
I love it how we ended off with the Lakers, though. I love it that last point where with the Lakers.
Let the kids play.
Let the kids play. Yeah, you're good with it. That's a good thing. Like,
Lakers can't go to the final without AD.
I do not think otherwise.
Where is of this guy?
I don't want to hear nothing like that in the comment section. I know. Hey, y'all better sit. Y'all better rest that man now.
He is resting.
He is resting properly. Don't bring up. If that man says, if that man feel any such thing as a headache, let him sit down. Don't play. Don't play him. Do not play him. For the sake of y'all.
I need to wrap him in some bubble wrap.
For the sake of y'all, without Lakers best team in the West stuff, AD don't play. The Clippers will handle you guys. Thank you guys for watching. No. Clippers come back with a vengeance. Thank you guys for watching.
Disrespectful. But we're gonna talk about it's whatever. Let's close the show.
Yeah.
Let's close the show.
Shout out to all the guys in the comment section and those who are watching right now. Thank you guys for everyone who has watched so
Guys,
far.
Dante is ending the show on a low note.
Shout out to the Virgin Islands basketball team. They'll be playing tonight.
Hold up, yes. They're playing Canada. They're playing Canada, the national men's team for basketball. Shout out to you guys. Make sure y'all
Plus.
yes, y'all get in the business now. Y'all give them the business now. Y'all better give them the business, okay? Make sure you win us. We rooting for you guys. Rooting for you guys. Have a good day. Stay cool and stay smooth. See you next week.